Hi, everyone. I am thrilled to be joining Totango Live today. I'm Allie Irvin, and I'm the head of customer success at Extreme Networks. And I'm going to share a few tips for driving impact with a scaled customer success perspective. So before we get into that, I do want to start by quickly just defining what I think of as scaled customer success is, just so we all are on the same page about what we're talking about and we have a clear picture about what scaled customer success is, because it is a relatively new discipline, and it can mean different things to different people. So first and foremost, I think the most important thing is that scaled customer success is not all or nothing. So like I mentioned, at Extreme Networks, we have two different engagement levels, vastly different engagement levels, but both use the scaled customer success design principles. So you can pick and choose elements of a scaled customer success model and apply them to even the most high touch customer success engagements to get some of those benefits that you get from scale. Secondly, when I think about a scaled customer success engagement model, I think about a data-driven approach. To me, you have to have some level of a data-driven elements to scale, because you're not relying on individuals anymore entirely to decide exactly what the next best action is. You really need your data to tell you what is the next step for the customer, what's going on with the customer. Not to say again that it's exclusively data-driven, but that's, I think, a component of a scaled customer success engagement. And finally, and I think this is probably the most illustrative point, is a scaled customer success model, by definition, is going to use a one-to-many approach. And that can be a couple of different things. I think it can be delivered through automation. So maybe that's customer touch points that you've automated, experiences that you're delivering in your product through automation. Maybe adoption content is delivered there. Maybe you've got some email campaigns that are triggered by customers meeting a milestone, just any automation. I also think that this could mean one-to-many customer experiences, like webinars or self-serve training platforms, as opposed to one-to-one, customer and customer success representative training sessions that we've all done in the past and participated in. I think that those elements, those one-to-many, are really define a scaled customer success approach. And again, you can pick and choose what you're going to include in your engagement to get some flavor of scaled customer success. So if we have a good picture about what scaled customer success looks like, I thought about how we use this approach to drive business impact at Extreme Networks, and maybe some learnings I could share. And I thought about three things that I think highlight what we have done and what we have learned over the last 2 years. First is thinking about how we have built a multidisciplinary customer success team. Secondly, thinking about how we have found how to work with the right cross-functional partners. Third, I think how we have demonstrated success and how we think about demonstrating success is another learning of how we have driven impact with a scaled CS team. So I'm going to go through each of these three and talk a little bit more about what they mean to me and how I think they can help you drive impact with scale. So you really need to have the right team in place first to drive impact using a scaled CS approach. And for us, that has meant first considering what roles we have on our team, and really considering new roles that we had not necessarily designed or used in the past. And I think investing in roles like this really gives you a lot more room to scale, because these are new roles or new hires on your team, but they're going to give you more reach. And you're not just thinking about, I definitely have hired in the past, and we've all probably thought about this, of one customer success representative to X number of customers. And you may still have some element of that, of course. We probably all do, but also adding these new roles will let you stretch that a bit. And these roles are things like system administrators, journey mappers, so people who are responsible for defining your journey and the milestones that are delivered along the way. And then project managers and program managers, to really think about what that journey is and make sure you have capabilities built for everything you want to deliver. In addition to these new roles, we've also looked for different skills and what skills we need on the team that might be different than what we've hired for in the past. I think traditionally, I have looked for problem solving, people who are very customer focused and customer oriented, experts in the product, utility players, people who are great at enablement, great at relationship building. And all those skills are still important, but there are new skills that we're looking for too. So we're looking for people who understand data, people who are critical thinkers. And the reason for that is because our scaled approach is, like I mentioned earlier, it's data driven. I want my team members to really understand and be part of that and designing that journey. Also, always looking for agility, because scaled customer success is a pretty new discipline. It has really just emerged and will continue to change and evolve over the next few years as we get more research, more best practices, got revolutionary technology like AI. This discipline is going to continue to change. So we want a team that is flexible and that is, excited about change coming around the corner. We also think about, when we are thinking about looking for these skills, we might be hiring for them, but we might also be looking for how we enhance the skill set on our team. So one of the things we have begun to do on our team is to build a skill and development plan library. So we think about those critical skills for our team, and we think about how we can help individuals develop those skills. And we go ahead and pre-build that skill set library so that when we know we need to beef up a skill, or we have someone on our team who wants to explore a new skill, we sort of got some recommendations ready for them to go to explore and to enhance their skills in that area and build those strengths. Lastly, designing for the future. So I talked about agility being an important strength for the individual contributors on the team and your leaders. It's also a condition to look for as you're thinking about building your team. So being a little bit more flexible with how exactly you're hiring and you're building and staffing your team, introducing new capabilities that you can repurpose for as you introduce new products or new customer segments or new levels of engagement. One example that we've done here is assigned experts on our team to particular capabilities. So parts of our journey have an expert on our team assigned to them. Like we have an expert on our renewals outreach, and they help us grow that area as our needs change. And that has really helped us deliver business impact. The second lesson that we have learned in how we have driven impact at Extreme Networks with our scaled customer success team is all about working cross-functionally. It is so important, as we all know, to find those cross-functional partners that are going to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish and drive the right outcomes for your customers. So, first finding those champions who understand what you're trying to do and will help you move it forward. I think we're all familiar with this. But one thing we have learned is that we have really thought beyond our traditional partners in this. So we've always partnered and worked really closely with sales and with product, but in scaled customer success, I think we have worked more closely with new partners than we had in the past. So IT, really important for a data-driven approach. Marketing has been a new partner for us because scaled customer success and digital marketing, customer marketing, there's a lot of overlap there. How do you partner together to make sure that you are delivering a consistent message, that you have a unified communication strategy to your customers? And the channel, of course, if you, like us, have a sales channel, think about how you're working with them. And are they delivering your customer success engagement at scale, or are you? What do they need to know to deliver customer success? So these are all ways that we have expanded how we're thinking about our cross-functional partners. And lastly, a lesson that we have learned is getting involved as much as possible in product design and launch and go-to-market efforts as early as possible, and really cannot be early enough. When we think about, building, designing, delivering a data-driven customer journey, that requires that our systems all talk to each other really well. We really need to understand early what data we need, for example, to inform a health score, or deliver the right collateral to the customer at the right time, or alert us of potential issue or a customer's readiness to buy. All of that takes time, understanding that, asking those questions of the product, and then connecting the system. So one thing we have learned is the earlier we can get involved in this process, and really being part of that new product introduction process, the better. Finally, the third lesson that we have learned in deriving impact with scaled customer success is thinking about how we demonstrate success. And I have two ideas about this, two thoughts to share. First is think about the KPIs that you're measuring and think about, what additional KPIs you might want to report on, or, what KPIs might not even be relevant anymore with a scaled customer success approach. We're probably all reporting on or holding ourselves accountable to, NRR, ARR, maybe CSAT, renewal rate, customer lifetime value. All of these are important and definitely still important and still relevant. But we have also looked at new measures of our success, like engagement has been a new KPI for us. So we look down to the campaign level. Who is reading our emails? How many customers are opening this email and clicking on a link? How many of our customers are attending our webinars, our events? Those engagement metrics are kind of newly important to our customer success team at scale. And product usage is another KPI that matters a lot to us. When we're working at scale, we don't necessarily have that close, intimate customer relationship one-to-one, but we want the customer to feel that. And we also want to understand what is happening with our customers, what they're doing. Are they adopting our products the way we want them to? So we're looking at more telemetry, more product features, and not just relying on conversations that we're having with customers. And secondly, because you are working at scale, your customer success reps, similarly to how the relationship with the customer might have changed in the day-to-day a little bit, you might also have different relationships with your internal stakeholders too. So previously, we've worked really closely with our sales partners, product partners, and really, communicated new capabilities or new initiatives that way. But because now we're working with so many customers, those communication channels maybe have changed a little bit. So we think about how we had to scale our internal communication too, to let the rest of our team know what we were doing, what we were working on. So we have thought about, introducing a communications calendar and plan to promote awareness internally of your initiatives and your wins, because it's really important to share not just your KPIs, but what you're doing, what's around the corner, because again, this scaled customer success discipline is new, and it's important to share your success with the rest of your team. So to recap, when we're thinking about how we have driven impact with our scaled customer success team, we reflect over the last 2 years and we think about, developing that multidisciplinary team and the right skills. We think about how we have learned how to connect with the right stakeholders and get involved early in the product design and go-to-market process, and also thinking about how we share our success and what that success looks like for our team. I hope this was interesting and helpful. I hope you'll choose to maybe try some of these ideas as you implement some scaled customer success practices of your own. So thank you so much for being here.